Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and as you can see, I am back from my big trip through Ohio and Michigan. Everything in my garden has grown so much while I was away, I can't wait to give you an update. So today, I'm going to take you through a quick stroll of my front gardens. Well, the wave is definitely starting to do what I was hoping it would. Those Thailand giant Colocasias are huge and tropical. The Treasure Island sweet potatoes are mixing and mingling and starting to become a great ground cover. You can see we've got Colocasia and Cosmos coming up. The tobacco that was transplanted looks like it's taking hold. We've actually got a pumpkin growing here. Some sesame. One sunflower. We planted a bunch, but only one germinated. I'm pleased to see there are zinnias popping up, and I really can't believe how much the colocasias have grown. Also pleased to see some zucchini making it. So far, it doesn't look like I had too bad of a borer issue. I guess there is a borer in there. Diatomaceous earth. Probably if I had applied it sometime in the last few days, but I've been out of town for 8 days. So it looks like, I don't even know if it's borers. I think it might be the roly-polies that are causing this. Well, it happens. I'm grateful for the farmers who make zucchini available to me. I do have some zucchinis that I can't wait to show you over on the front border. They need to be harvested. Now the big shrub border out at the road is really looking nice. That Rudbeckia is really just tall, and it's an incredible pollinator plant. And of course the phlox Bright Eyes behind it is looking great, and really starting to see a lot of butterflies. I'm so glad that I tucked native plants into this border because it's actually made it significantly less maintenance. I'm not having to weed. I'm not having to add mulch because the ground is pretty well covered with these kind of colonizing plants like this Monarda, of course this sedum. I mean, not all of this is native, but this is, a nice stand of pycnanthemum back there filling in that shady spot. It really makes the shrub border a lot less work to not have all the open space between all the woody material. And over here on this stand of Phlox paniculata Bright Eyes, you can see got a swallowtail visiting. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks their population will explode. I have a lot of caterpillars. It's very exciting to see. And really this shrub border is looking good. You can see these dwarf crepe myrtles are about to bloom. Of course this pycnanthemum. Really filled in nicely this year. It's been in the ground 3 years. This is the first year that it's really filled in. I love this combination with the sumac that's tigerized from First Editions. More phlox. And I'm pleased to show you that this front section is really filled in well with sedum. So I did this sedum like 2 years ago, and in this area we had a viburnum that it was just too dry for, so we cut that down. And we filled in the open space originally with plugs, but it was too dry and we didn't get them established. So we just came in and threw in patches of sedum from other parts of the garden, and it really looks like they're starting to take hold. Now you can see what I'm trying to avoid, open space where weeds like that crabgrass will fill in. So having the ground plane engaged with purposeful plants really cuts down on the amount of weeding that you have to do. And this side property shrub border is looking good. You can see the Eucomis, sparkling burgundy, have pretty well gotten green, but it's really exciting. There's so many new varieties coming out that even in shade hold their color. And these phlox are blooming. The arborists, Snell Tree Company or Snell Tree Experts are coming on Thursday, and they're gonna do some selective pruning in these live oaks and really actually clean up a lot of my trees around the property. I'm so excited for them to visit. They did a great job 2 years ago cleaning up this water oak and really made it a lot more manageable. So I'm excited to have some tree work done. And I'm really pleased with how that Viburnum bituense looks after I did the hard pruning on it. And you gotta say, this Calicarpa is looking incredible. This is Welch's pink. And it's really gonna berry quite early this year. And this south side of the border, you can see this oak leaf hydrangea. This is Jetstream, has gone to its really nice dried dark brown flower heads. Sometimes people actually spray paint these. I really like how they look brown. And I have to say, this juxtaposition with the Bug Hotel, I think is so pretty. I love this scene with the hydrangea quercifolia Jetstream and then hydrangea paniculata behind it. Really comparing the two species. This is definitely my favorite thing in the garden right now. I love how the Bug Hotel looks with all of those poppy pods. And I want to show you the Mangave Peninsula. All of the big ones look really good. The little pups that we transplanted have gone through kind of a rough stage, but the big ones look amazing. And, well, I love it. Fingers crossed they overwinter. You never know. I also wanted to show you this old-fashioned hydrangea paniculata. This is one called Green Spire, and it's one that I recommend just cutting flush to the ground every year. This is all new growth that's emerged from the spring. You can see it's in full flower. And this is a pollinator magnet, because you see there are so many fertile flowers on each one. You know, these large things here are actually bracts as a whole, and these are sterile. So these flowers that haven't opened are actually what provide nectar. So it's really important to have, you know, if you're growing hydrangeas, to have some that will support pollinators and not just have the big mophead types. Now here on the south border, you can see that papyrus has really taken root, and that white-eyed sedge is in nice full bloom. The onions are recovering and starting to grow out again. And of course, this hydrangea paniculata, which is from Bloomin' Easy, also has a great example of infertile but also fertile flowers on each of its flower heads. And this is an absolute pollinator magnet. So as we walk up into the front border, you can see the buckwheat has absolutely done its thing. It's filling in all the gaps. The insects absolutely love it. I like how it makes everything look misty and airy. Now this will be edited for sure by the time the fall open garden comes along on Saturday, September 23rd from noon to 4 p.m. But I really am loving how this border looks right now with the mix of the buckwheat and the sun-credible sunflowers. And then look at how big these zucchinis have gotten. And look at the eggplants. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be having ratatouille. So I know I saw, oh my gosh, this one's super big. Really big zucchini. I'm so excited. I think there's another one. Oh, there's a nice perfect small one. I'm going to let that grow another day. And I'm really pleased with how these look, having had 2 rounds of diatomaceous earth. And there's more eggplants. Oh, hot diggity. Yeah, I'm really amazed at how this border has filled in so quickly. This was planted on June 15th. So in just over a month's time, it's pretty well completely full. And a lot of this was actually grown from seed, direct seeding. So about half, I guess, was transplanted and half was direct seeded. I'm just so impressed with this border. And I don't think the cannas are really that great. I mean, I like their pops of color, but the flowers are dirty and messy. Even without leaf rollers, they're still just kind of not that great. But for now, I'm going to keep them. Actually, I should show you today's harvest basket. It's been a good day walking the garden. Again, the view of the wave from back here. Everything looks really cool. And then over here into the foundation landscape, I just think that succulent window box looks amazing. And remember, this is eastern exposure, so this doesn't really get a lot of full sun. Succulents look really, really great in that condition. And I don't water this very often, so highly recommend succulents in window boxes. Now over here, we've got a fun collection of hydrangea arborescens, and that's a hydrangea paniculata, sweet summer, and then Phlox paniculata bright eyes. And I'm quite sure that there will be a lot of swallowtails in the coming days, particularly with this huge stand of phlox right here. Hoping to log in some time on that hammock to recover from my recent big trip. And over here in the shady section of the wave, again, I really like how this garden has come together with that Carex cherokeensis, that's the really fine texture, the sajuga, the Rhodia japonica, sedum, of course the bird-seeded calicarpas that really want to grow here. Soon the hedychiums will be blooming, and this osmanthus is just one of my favorite plants in the whole world. Of course, you can see all these echinaceas. They're kind of finished flowering, but soon, you know, the finches will be here to get all that seed. You can see again, Green Spire. This one I didn't cut all the way to the ground, and I really prefer the habit of the one on the other side of the property. So this year I'll for sure just coppice it all the way back, and that's I think how I'll permanently manage this. It's essentially a cutback woody. And these Rudbeckia definitely need to be moved. We're actually going to transplant these into a new garden next door, and I think we're going to kind of rethink the purpose of this peninsula. I'm also really excited to share that the tree company, Snell Tree Experts, will be removing that Yoshino cryptomeria entirely. And that's really going to help open up this border and make it have a lot more light. Now, along this side of the house, you can see the north side is pretty well covered. It's super low maintenance. I really don't have to do any work over here at all. Again, those Carex ground covers I think are really so visually important. Soon the Tricertus will begin to bloom, and well, I think overall this whole front section of the garden is looking really great, particularly since it's the middle of July. Well, I don't sit here often, but it sure does feel good. Well, I hope you'll tune in tomorrow for the second half of this July weekly garden tour. And I do hope that you will tune in for my upcoming videos that I shot during my trip to Michigan. It was a really busy trip, and I wasn't able to really capture any audio, but I think you'll be really inspired by the scenes, and I'm excited to share everything that I got to see and get inspired by with all of you. So be sure to subscribe so that you stay in the loop. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy gardening.